Hopefully you can find this stream. This was not the plan. And I'm really sorry that my computer is not cooperating. But yeah, what's up? Happy screen time, and thank you for subscribing for live stream Row Tomfoolery. This already seems to be doing a lot better than my computer, so we're just going to go with it. And people join, great. If not, thanks for watching it later. And yeah, I've got all this stuff pulled up that I wanted to do with you guys, and I just don't think it's going to happen. So, yeah, let me just tell you guys. I'm going to reference my notes here, and I'm just going to tell you guys some of the stuff that I was planning to tell you. Just now, I'm going to tell you it vertically instead of horizontally, and with less screen sharing. Maybe I'll flip my camera around and go, yeah, look at my computer screen. And I'm sure that there's a way that I'll be able to see live chats, but yeah, welcome. So let's get on with it because I've just spent a bunch of time learning about encoding issues, and my computer still thinks that it's broadcasting right now. Like, it's definitely not. So I don't know what to do with that. So anyway, yeah, let's talk some Pokemon Sleep. So I wanted to start off tonight talking about just some things about where the game is headed, and some of the recent events, some of the upcoming events, and also, uh, well, a lot about the upcoming events. And I wanted to get your thoughts on those events. But since I'm doing it on my phone, I don't know how to do all the stuff that I was gonna do up there. So thanks for bearing with me. Yeah, so I wanted to first talk about Dream Shard Week. I know I mentioned it in my last video, but I think it's really worth noting if you have not really thought about Dream Shard Week. So it's Volume 1 is what we got. And that means Volume 2 is coming. That means probably a Volume 3 is coming. Should be a good time. And if they continue with the bonuses that they had on this most recent one, it's going to be a really strategic, need to be strategically used week, because that 1.25 times to the skill trigger is nothing to joke about, especially if you've got charge strength mons. You're gonna want to prioritize using those, and they can carry it on just about any place if you've got that. Um, I'm thinking that, and I mean, obviously, we don't know when Volume 2, Volume 3 for Dream Shard Week is coming, but I'm thinking that that is probably my time to shoot for Old Gold Power Plant Master 20. So we'll see if it happens. But it seems likely. I'm interested to know, those of you who joined, thanks for joining. Thanks for bearing with me. I'm interested to know where you guys are right now in the game. Right now, I am at Snowdrop Tundra, and I made that choice for area bonus purposes. What's up, Mason Ross? Thanks for joining. Thanks for being a part of it. Whoa, I just jumped up a bunch of people. What's up, everybody who just popped in? Glad you found this place. um, and yeah, I'm wondering where are you guys this week? I'm at Snowdrop Tundra. I made that choice because of area bonus. This week I'm at 60%. Next week I'll be at 65, and then, or if that's for the event, and then I'll have one more week to clear it out. So yeah. Anyway, yeah. So we are either being given Dream Shard Week because the level increasing from 60 to 65 for our Pokemon, or it's because the pod expansion is coming, or it's because of both. And I think no matter how we use Dream Shard Week going forward, we're going to feel like the Dream Shard goals that we need to get are going to be impossibly high. So just mentally prepare yourself for that, because we've seen how the game starts to scale and it doesn't look like it's slowing down. So um, yeah, I wanted to call out because I know with new things coming, with the new moon event coming in particular, there's a lot of speculation going on, and I wanted to give you my rule of thumb about when I'm speculating. What do I think through? So that as you go around and read speculation, you have a way to think about and to what my friend calls, does it pass the sniff test? I got this piece of information. Does it make sense? Does it not? Does it smell right? Is like how he puts it. But this is the litmus test, the sniff test. Does this change help new players? And how will this change make new players feel? And how do we keep new players happy if we're going to do something for veteran players? So, like, for example, we open up a new area and we say, all right, here are new Pokemon that are going to be area exclusive. Well, we're going to give them to the new players for a little bit, make sure that they get them, right? The game wants to create long-term players. So if we're going to do that, then players need to have a good experience in the early game. That's just the reality. And our other goal is this going to help them make more money? And if you can come up with a reasonable reason that the game developers are going to bring in revenue, then it's probably a reasonable thing. If it's not going to help them do that, probably not. All right. Area bonus cap. Some players have already reached it. I'm a little bit late to the party. I have wasted a little bit of area bonus along the way, and I also started a little bit later than other players on Pokemon Sleep, but still within those first couple weeks. So the question is, what is going to happen with area bonus cap being reached by players? And there's kind of three things, right, that could happen. One is we're either going to get a new area. Two is they're going to increase the area bonus cap. Or three is absolutely nothing is going to happen, which is kind of what I'm thinking. Personally, I don't think that we're going to be seeing a new area probably until we get to the same time around of where we got Old Gold Power Plant last year. I think we'll be seeing area bonuses happen, or sorry, we'll be seeing new areas happen not that often. I think once a year is probably the right cadence for this long drawn out game, and I think we only got 2 areas. I guess we only got 1 during the first year with Lapis, and then during the second year we got Old Gold Power Plant. And so technically we are already on a 1 per year of the game development cycle. What's up? Yeah, the stream did not get fixed, Nani, but thanks for the shout out. We're just adapting because I didn't want to leave you guys hanging. So yeah, I don't think that we're going to see a new area anytime soon. I kind of don't think that they're going to increase the area bonus cap either, and that's because, and I say this as like I don't want to sound too braggy. Like, I do think I'm good at Pokemon Sleep. I do think I have good advice to offer players. That's why I do this stuff. But I just hit Master 20 on Hollow. I've already hit it on Cyan Beach, hit it on Greengrass before I started the YouTube stuff, and we hit it on Lapis during the Cresselia event. So I think that because players are hitting that Master 20 milestone and figuring out how to hit it in multiple areas, I'm pretty confident I'm going to hit Master 20 on Snowdrop during the Salad event, and we can talk about that in a few minutes here. But I think because players are hitting that achievement, it makes me think that they're going to leave the cap where it is because it gives something a clear spot, or it gives everybody like a clear spot to hit. And so I actually think they're going to do nothing about players hitting the area bonus cap, at least for the next several weeks. I think they're going to let people be maxed out. Maybe they would add something like, you know, how when we hit, when you have Pokemon on your team that hit the experience cap, they start rolling into that little gauge that gets you handy candies, or how when you're at the research experience cap, you get dream shards. Maybe they do something like that with area bonus, where there'd be a little gauge that you can fill, and the longer that you're at max area bonus in all areas, you work your way up to handy candy M, or I mean, I don't know, a main skill seed. Come on, select button. But anyway, so for those of you, again, thanks for joining. Thanks for adapting with me, since my initial stream plans did not work. But I still wanted to just kind of gauge. So for those of you who are watching, and thank you for tuning in, do you consider yourself, if you don't mind sharing in the chat, a min-maxer, casual player, something in between? I'm thinking of doing like a rating system of 4 things. I feel like there's this like polarizing thing in our Pokemon Sleep community of like, you're either a min-maxer or a casual, and I think most of us feel like we're in the middle of that. And so I'm thinking of it as like casual player, intentional player, strategic player, min-maxer. And I think I'm in that strategic zone, but if you'd call me a min-maxer, let me know. And since none of you jumped in the chat to say, then I'm not gonna hang out on this topic because you guys don't care. But that's fine. So here's what I'm thinking though. So I mean, share it if you want. I'll still respond to the chats. But I wanted to talk a little bit more about the area bonus cap, to just say, right now in most areas of the game, we don't see sleep styles going past Master 16. So like once you've hit Master 20 once, what's the incentive to hit it again or to max out that area again? I don't think there is one. And I think that as the game goes on, you know, like I mentioned before, we need to keep new players happy, need to keep new players coming in, but they also need to keep the whales whaling. Some of you may may have used to watch Brovini doing daily videos of Pokemon Sleep. He's kind of scaled back because he's doing other content, and he's doing more like weekly or sporadic Pokemon Sleep content, which is still really fun. Shout out to those guys, him and Piggy. They're a lot of fun. And I was right there with you watching him every day before. But I feel like when Sneasel came out, it was like that was the only thing that he cared about, was hunting for that Sneasel. And I don't know if he's gotten it or not yet. I haven't kept enough track. But like, if you take a player like Brovini and you don't give him something to shoot for, he's not going to keep putting money into the game, right? Like that's the risk of like everybody hitting these Master 20 things. And maybe there are some solutions for that. Like maybe they could implement a way for us to, you know, the second time, third time you hit Master 20, you get other bonuses, or you have some other thing that you're stacking up for a big bonus. Or maybe they're looking at expanding the game. They said, you know, challenging mode is coming. We don't really know what that means still. We don't know if that's already happened, or if it's still forthcoming, or maybe it's the Darkrai stuff is supposed to be challenging mode, and whatever that is about to be revealed. But I've been thinking, like, what if you just put Master 30 as like a big thing for, I guess they increase everything 5 at a time. So Master 25 becomes the new cap, and there's new rewards to reach for, and it's going to be insanely difficult to get. And yeah, we would need area bonus to keep stacking to be able to go for those things. But I think right now, because we're just starting to see some players get to that Master 20 milestone consistently across a lot of places, I think we're less likely to see them flip the switch and, like, you know, increase area bonus, and now, you know, everybody basically can hit Master 20 easily. I don't know. The other thing that I've been thinking about is they should do like a prestige feature So like maybe after you get to Master 20, you can get Cyan Beach Plus, and all the strength requirements are doubled, but you get rare spawns or something. I mean, I don't know. But it does seem like we're kind of reaching this like tipping point in the game where a lot of players are getting anxious about the content, are wanting more and more content, but it is just a slow paced game. I know personally, I'm looking at my teams and I'm like, I still have a bunch of ingredient specialists. I'm trying to get to level 60. I still have all these goals. I have a backlog of things that I want to be raising for just long term goals. And so personally, I don't feel that pressure, but I think on that scale of, if we call it casual, intentional, strategic, and min maxer, I think the min maxer strategic crowd is less concerned about the new content because they keep themselves plenty busy. And then on the other end is the players who are like, keep me interested, keep me engaged, but interested to know what you guys think. All right, let me check out some of these chats that are coming in. Thank you so much. What's up, Vikram? Thanks for joining us. I say I'm a casual but strategic player, more min-maxy when big events comes and it feels more worth it. Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of players think that way of like, hey, during a regular week, I'm not going to worry so much about what my strength is. I'm just going to take it easy, chill week. But then those events come around. It's like, yeah, I want to do my best. I want to maximize. I want to maximize the benefits that come from an event, right? Um, and yeah, I'm curious about challenge mode too. A leaderboard would be cool. I've actually been thinking that that's something we could probably do in the community. It would all have to be on the honor system, but we could easily build a way for us to like submit our rankings and stuff, whether it was on a weekly basis or all time for an island, just like a Google form where at the end of the week you just say, I was on this area, I got this strength, and maybe you do a one-time thing where you fill out the stuff. But we don't need select button to implement ranking. Like we could do that as a community, and it might be more fun since we all play together. Yes, welcome Buffalo Bandit. They do need to add more late game content. Um, I won't expound on that since that's what I was just doing. But thank you for the validation. And Nani, super casual here, just playing for fun. Don't care about reaching Master 20. And when you say you love to see your faves doing their best, you mean me, right? You love to see me doing my best, but you're casual. I'm just kidding. You mean your Pokemon, right? So that's cool. I'm glad that we have this wide range, and it's cool to see a game where, in a lot of like competitive games, I don't know about you guys, but I get really turned off when it's like, if I'm not gonna be like a hardcore gamer and hardcore into some game, like it feels like it's not even worth starting sometimes because there is a player community that's so intense. But I feel like Pokemon Sleep allows for like this way dynamic range of like interest levels and commitment to the game, which is really cool. But I do think in our community, it also becomes a problem when players don't self-identify to be like, I'm playing casually and I'm interested to know if this is good, because they get the min maxers in there that are giving them hardcore advice, and then people get upset because they're like, I don't care that much or whatever. Anyway, there's we just gotta figure out how to find that balance of like, if you want advice, you gotta be happy that you're getting advice, and you can't be upset that some people, you know, are more strategic or more min maxy. You just gotta take it for what it's worth. Anyway, before we get into the really fun stuff, let me tell you one more thing about just the subskill bonus buffs and what I think that means for the game. So research experience bonus just got buffed, and I think that we see that new player whale, balance going because it allows whales to rank up faster. Did you know that if you were running a research, whatever it's called, incense, research experience incense, is it research incense, the blue one, I think, if you're running that every night and you had a full team of research experience bonus Pokemon, you could be getting 290% research experience every night if you were willing to drop the diamonds on that thing. So I've seen people on my friends list who hit like rank 61 like the day or two after the rank increase, and I was like, what the heck are you guys doing? but those things scale like crazy, so it's going to take some time to move up. Um, but yeah, I think that we're going to see research experience continue to scale as it uh, is right now. Like it's starting to be on one of those curves, like the levels that's way high, and I don't know if they're ever going to lower the curves at some point to make the game more accessible, or if we're just going to keep seeing this steep incline on the levels and all that stuff. Like I just don't know what to expect. Um, but yeah, if you've been relying on research experience bonus because you've been, or not bonus, but if you've been relying on research experience cap, being at the cap for getting dream shards, you're going to feel hurt. I think we're all going to be feeling the hurt for a little bit as those things scale. So I just want to reiterate that I think it's so important to just go after that research experience. Get a research experience bonus Pokemon on your team, especially if it's a long term investment. Like really go for it. Now, energy recovery bonus also got a buff, and Velocity Raptor has covered that in depth. It's basically not anything special. Energy recovery bonus to most players is already kind of not worth it, and it's better, but it's also still not really worth it. Um, but here's what is important about these things getting buffed and what's important to call out about the future of the game. The fact that these things can get buffed means that sub skills can get buffed. And that alone is important about thinking about what happens with the game going in the future. Um, and I've called out before, I think the door is open for ingredient finder L, skill trigger L, etc. But those bonuses or just any sub skill could get free upgrades and stuff over time. So don't discount research experience bonus is my main point. You might be thinking, that's a waste of a spot. Want more production? Well, there's gonna be, it's all about bottlenecks and it's about where you have space to grow. So anyway, while we're changing topics, let me come back to the chat for a second. Trading with friends, maybe a mechanic that encourages catching more mons and trading global tasks for us to hit weekly or monthly would be cool. So I have mixed feelings about I'm gonna start with the global tasks and work backwards. I guess you're saying maybe global tasks about the trading. So let's start on trading. I don't think they're ever gonna implement trading. Everything is RNG based in the Pokemon you get. And if you could just run 5 accounts and then trade all of your Pokemon to one account, like it would probably be worth it to just keep starting the game over and running a green grass sleep styles early game in hopes of getting something and then just trading those things. So they'd have to put a lot of rules around it. I don't know if any of you are playing the Pokemon trading card game thing, but they implemented trading there and people were throwing a fit about it because of all the rules. But like they're in it to make money, right? Like they're not in it to just try to cater to us. And there's a lot of abuse that could come if they implemented trading. And I know it's a big part of Pokemon games. I was thinking that maybe with some future Pokemon game, there would be some way to tie it back to sleep, kind of like how there's a very loose connection to this game in Pokemon Go through the Pokemon Go Plus Plus. But yeah, I just don't see it happening. And as far as global tasks goes, I feel so turned off from the global stuff because I felt like the thing that we did with the Cresselia event was kind of a joke. So I just don't see it. Jeremy, welcome to the stream. Sorry, I'm getting to chat's late here, but we are back because I'm not using my computer. And Medici, welcome. And yeah, thanks for coincidentally showing up. Yeah, Vikram, buffing things like research experience and dream shards is why I'm not worried about the level scaling. They'll probably keep buffing as more players catch up. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw sleep experience bonus get buffed at some point. We're adding in this dream shard week. We already know that they do growth week. There's no reason why they can't make the bonuses of those events even better over time to just give more and more stuff. So I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But And I have one more thing to say from my notes here, because I was gonna run a poll to let everybody say, if you're a min maxer or casual or whatever. But I've got to tell you, if you watch my channel, you're a step above casual, and that's just the rule, because you're better than the most casual of casual players, from just listening and watching my videos. So sorry, Nani. Okay, you guys want to talk about Spring Festival? We've got a few more people here now. So let's talk about Salad Event, which is what this really is. We had we had the dessert event, desserts and drinks event, for Valentine's Day, and it turns out that that was really just Winterfest. And last year we had Summerfest, which was a curry event. Sorry, Summer Festival, Spring Festival. Let's shorten these things, people. Salad event, curry event, right? I guess that's the min maxer side of me talking. Even how we talk about the game, we should be shortening, creating abbreviations, and calling stuff what it is. Anyway, I said in one of the advertisements for tonight, is that what you call the community post? I said we'll talk about our favorite salads. So if you wanted to shout out your favorite salad, feel free to do so, in the chat. I don't know about you guys, and don't answer this question, but do I look like I eat salad? No. So I eat salad when I feel obligated to at a restaurant. Um, but yeah, don't tell me if I look like I eat salad or not. I did a rant on our last live stream about salads and how they're the worst, in the game, and I was thinking, it makes sense. They're the worst in real life. So it makes sense that they'd be the worst food in Pokemon Sleep. But even though I can complain about salads, apparently they are good enough, because I'm planning on using a non-maxed salad in a non-maxed area bonus to still hit Master 20 on Snowdrop, with the Defiant Coffee Dress salad. But I mean, that's only happening because, right? That's how it works. But yeah, hopefully you have if you are somebody who regularly cooks those top tier dishes, this is probably a week to go for one of those milestone rewards, because and you still have 2 days that you can be stockpiling your ingredients and getting prepared for the event. I actually just started stockpiling my ingredients this morning. I was gonna pull up Rain and X and tell you guys about how I prepared all that stuff, but I don't know how effective that's gonna be if I'm doing this from my phone. So I don't know. If you want me to talk about, spend a few minutes talking about how I've been preparing for hitting Master 20 on Snowdrop, show me some of those emojis or something on the reactions. Otherwise, I'm going to keep just talking about other stuff for my notes, but I'd be happy to spend a little bit of time on that. I wanted to just call out, I think we will see Curry event this summer. And I think we'll see those 3 meal events as recurring events with the seasons. And if they ever added a 4th meal, shout out to Taco Bell, then we'd probably see that thing get added. What's the word I'm looking for? In the fall, we'd see a fall event with 4th meal, but I don't think that's ever going to happen. A 4th meal type, I feel like that would frustrate a lot of the player community who's ingredient focused, because it would nerf you on all of the weeks where you get that new meal type at this point. So, yeah. Let me see. Okay. Well, let's talk about Chansey and the Chansey line. And I think I'm going to have to turn my camera around and show you guys a couple things, because I actually made something for you guys. And it's a little disappointing that I can't get the streaming to work on my computer to show you. But I want to know, so drop some egg emojis down in the chat. But tell me, do you think that the Chansey line will be berry specialist, ingredient specialist, or skill specialist? All right, let me see here. Is there a button here? Okay, actually, don't tell me. I'm going to type in here, Chansey specialty. We're going to do a poll. And and we're going to let you guys vote. You don't have to show yourself in the chat. And we're going to see if I can type and think at the same time and keep you guys engaged. So starting a poll. Boom. All right. Love to see the egg emojis. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. I did a poll. Oh, 3 votes. Okay. I came out. Great. It's working. I'm interested to know what you guys think. And before I pull up the results of the poll, I'm going to leave it up for a bit while I talk about this. But I wouldn't be surprised to see the main skill on Chansey be something related to healing. I feel like that's just low-hanging fruit from Chansey being the Pokemon Center Pokemon. I think I threw it out in one of Velociraptor's live streams, but I would love to see Chansey. Well, I guess I chatted to him and then mentioned it there, but you guys don't care about that. The details. I would love to see it. Soft boiled is like that signature Chansey move. I would love to see something like soft boiled, but it's like soft boiled metronome, where it's still random, but it's only healing things. And I don't think it would be a skill specialist. I think it would just be like sometimes it heals itself, sometimes it heals something else, sometimes it heals everyone. But I think that would be really fun, and it would make it more compelling. I'm in this weird spot because I do not need an egg farmer. I have an insanely good Delibird. That was the very first one I ever caught before I knew anything about ingredients to this game. It's mono egg, it's ingredient finding, helping speed, it's a neutral nature, but it gets even better. Actually, no, it doesn't get better at 75. It gets sleep experience. But the point being, it's like when I get to level 60, it's going to be like 94 eggs a day, which for the current meta I can already do like 74 a day right now, which feels crazy. But the amount of eggs we're going to need for the new dish, if we were going to make that new egg dish 3 times a day, it's 105. It jumps up pretty high. I gotta pull up my my numbers here. I have this like ingredient tracker thing. But yeah, 105 a day. I can't believe I pulled my Delibird's numbers out of my head. I just spend too much time thinking about this game. Okay, so I selfishly, as somebody who has an egg farmer, I don't want it to be an egg farmer. I don't mind if it supplements eggs. Like obviously it's gonna have eggs. I think that the X post, the Twitter post, I call it Twitter, guys, but didn't want to turn off anybody. I think that it's pretty clear from that saying 3 Pokemon will join Pokemon Sleep for some cooking fun. And it could be that cooking fun is because it's salad week, but it kind of makes it feel like they're going to be ingredient specialists. Here's the case for it being ingredient specialists. That post, the fact that we don't have that many egg farming options, the fact that basically all of those egg farming options are go to Snowdrop, Tundra to hunt, and this would be the same thing, except this one, because you can get it at Cyan Beach, I feel like it's going to be kind of like that. It's going to be kind of like getting Palmy at Greengrass. Like you're never going to see it, but it's there, and so you're going to be able to maybe start getting it, and you'll have it ready for Snowdrop. But my near perfect Delibird cannot keep up with the new salad on a daily basis, which is a reason that I think Blissey is going to be the new top tier Eggmon. Another thing about that, Happiny to Chansey evolution is going to require sleep hours, and I think Chansey to Blissey is going to require sleep hours, and I feel like they do this weird thing in the game where they look at these trade-offs and they go, okay, well, we can make it better because of the sacrifice players are going to have to make with the sleep hours, which is like, that's fine. That's how they do it. But that makes me think that if it's an ingredient specialist, it is going to be the top of that egg meta. That makes me sad too, because I think a 16 friendship needing Pokemon like Delibird should have the right to stay at the top if it's that hard to hunt. And selfishly, because I did the really hard work of accidentally catching one. But anyway, all right, let me pull up this thing. It's gonna be this. It's gonna be this like super sad reveal on this because I'm not actually screen sharing. I'm doing this like thing here. I made a website that I'll post for you guys later. And I was actually trying to look at specialty distribution. So I'm planning to maintain this because it's going to be super low maintenance to do. But Chansey is this gray bar right now. The Chansey line is this unknown bar. And right now, if you were to look at Snowdrop Tundra, we have a severe lack of ingredient specialists. Okay, so it's like, okay, that's the case for Chansey, right? It should be an ingredient specialist balance out Snowdrop Tundra. But it is also getting added to Cyan Beach, which is already ingredient specialist overbalanced, and it's underbalanced for berries, which made me think, well, could Chansey be our third normal type ingredient specialist? I mean, oh, dang it. The big reveal. Berry specialist. I'm going to say berry specialist. Could it be our berry specialist? Back when Mana and Masharna were coming out, I was talking to Velociraptor, and we started digging into like the only thing that we can data mine about a Pokemon before it gets released now is its inventory. And we were looking at the inventory for Mana Masharna and going, hey, this thing seems like it matches an inventory curve of like Doduo Dodrio, of basically other berry specialists. So we do have the inventory numbers for Chansey. Happiny is tied for the lowest inventory in the game at 7. And coincidentally, one of the other Pokemon down there is Slackoth. Chansey is at 15, which, if I'm scaling up, is Krokna, and a couple other things. I didn't pull up this chart, but I looked it up somewhere before, so I'm just referencing my notes. But Blissey's is 21. The only other Pokemon with an an inventory of 21 or higher are all berry specialists. So it's either going to be the ingredient specialist with the highest inventory, or maybe it's going to be a berry specialist. Now, I don't have a way to pull this up because it's on my phone. I'm not using it. But if you see those charts about like what a berry specialist, the speed and the relative output. So the best normal Pokemon for a berry specialist today is Vigoroth. So it's don't evolve it into Slacking. Leave it as a Vigoroth, because when you evolve to Slacking, its ingredient rate skyrockets, its skill rate goes up, and it slows way down because it's Slacking. But do you know? I mean, and maybe this is just a bin maxer problem, but you have to get 2,000 sleep hours on Vigoroth to like get it to jump up to be really good. And okay, I'm gonna end the poll. Okay, everybody said ingredients. No one said berry specialists because you guys didn't hear my arguments yet, but we're still gonna keep going. I'm gonna end this poll because I want to ask you guys another question here about the thing that I was just talking about, sleep hours. How many sleep hours do you get in a night on average? And the options are going to be 6 or less. And then, I mean, estimate here, guys, approximations. 9 or more. Star poll. And I don't care how much you actually sleep in a night. I care about how many sleep hours do you get in the game a night. Because I want to talk about this Vigoroth thing. And basically to say that I think Vigoroth is too expensive. And Sneasel and Weavile are too expensive for most players to get and to hunt and to be good. So with that being the case, the next best highest level like Pokemon is Eradicate. and that's approved for Velociraptor Sleeper channel. So that means it's not good. So we don't have a viable normal berry specialist, and we'll talk about Vigoroth in a second when I get to this poll. But I'm gonna give you guys a second to do it. Yeah, Walrein doesn't really have an alternative in the game. It's Walrein or bust right now for Snowdrop, because realistically, to hunt Sneasel, unless you get insanely lucky at Greengrass, you're not hunting it unless you're on Snowdrop. And kind of the same for that. Wow, I just forgot the name of Slackoth. The Slackoth line as well. I can go look it up. I guess I have the charts, but I'm pretty sure that the best place to hunt for that is also Snowdrop. You can hunt for a Spheal and have a Walrein by the time you get to Snowdrop. But I think that they need a like a secondary berry Pokemon that's reasonable to get. Now, all right, I'm gonna check this poll. 8 and 9. All right, we're gonna close that one. 9 or more, and okay, yeah, okay, you're right. Alolan Vulpix, you're right, Vikram. I'm gonna have to go back and read some of these chats in a second, but you're right. That one is up there, and I forgot about it. But it's also an ice type berry, so it's better than Walrein, but it's still ice, and it's only, I mean, it's better because it's faster. It's still the same berry type, right? Okay, let me pull up this thing. I made a chart. Okay. So you guys know what you just put in your sleep things, but we said half of us are like 8 hours and half of us are 9 or more. But if you're at 8.5 or 9.5, whatever, I'm always in this like 8.5, 9 range. But to get to that 2,000 sleep hours to get your Vigoroth maxed out, you have to basically have it on your sleep team for 8 months. And that's insane. No one is catching a great Slackoth and evolving into Vigoroth and going, you know what? This is my long-term berry Pokemon. I better sleep with it on my team for the next 8 months so that I can go to Snowdrop and kill it. Like, come on. We're not doing that, right? Like, we're not doing that. So, like, I don't know. I think that there's a case to be made that, you know, based on the inventory, based on Weavile and Sneasel being so expensive, based on Vigoroth being so expensive, that they would get basically, and yes, Alolan Vulpix is there. I mean, I guess that one's probably on Greengrass too, but primarily you're hunting that one at Snowdrop as well. So like, we're putting Chansey on Cyan Beach, right? I'm just saying, if it ends up being a berry specialist that supplements your eggs, don't be surprised, because that's where I'm leaning that it's going to be right now. I mean, I could be wrong. What do I know? But they've also been trying to fix Snowdrop Tundra and make it more accessible and more appealing for players to go, because we've all just been hating on it for a long time. All right, I'm gonna come check some of the chats here. All of the egg emojis, yes, yes, yes. Ingredient specialist with energy for everyone. I do think I mean, I think seeing energy for everyone on a non-skill specialist is just fun. Medici, weird prediction. Energy for everyone, soft-boiled. But which boosts energy recovery from meals. That could be interesting. Let's see. My guess is ingredient specialist with eggs and oil, maybe apples, some kind of charge energy. See, I keep thinking like energizing, cheer, bliss, happy, like energizing cheer, right? Like, isn't that how Chansey's helping people? And anyway, but yeah, Vikram, I think I feel like eggs oil is kind of what we've been led to believe. It's hard to know though, because for the dessert event, they did say cacao and apple are boosted, and then Clodsire was cacao and coffee. So just because they threw out oil doesn't mean that it's gonna be oil. So, but I mean, could be, right? I mean, we'll see. But that's kind of what I'm thinking. Low skill proc, E free ingredient specials. Man, you guys, some other influencer must have thrown this out, right? Like I just missed it because everybody is like on the same train of thought, but not on the same one as me. So what do I know? Happy to Chansey needs an oval stone. See, and this is how I know that you're a true Pokemon fan because you know stuff like that. Because I don't know anything about Happiny. Um, thanks for the call out. I'm sure that that's going to be added to the shop, and you would think that they would leverage the stuff that's already in the shop to keep adding Pokemon that need evolution items, or maybe a way to know what Pokemon are coming is to just look at every evolution item in the game, and then they're just working on getting all of those coded in. I don't know. Charizard, welcome. Thanks for hanging out. I caught a mono egg Delibird, but even at 60 with ingredient finder M and helping speed M, I will barely get those 105 eggs with a good camp figure running. And yeah, I mean, I mean, the Twitter post had eggs in it. I'm pretty confident we're gonna see eggs. The question is just, is it lots of eggs or is it supplemental eggs? Lots of eggs meaning it's an ingredient specialist. It starts with 2, it only gets better. Where there's gonna be less. But yeah, those RNG days, it's gonna be a struggle for sure. And then nice max area bonus at Snowdrop. Well, I'm gonna catch up to you soon, Vikram, with that max area bonus. Yeah, so I mean, I threw my case out there. I personally do think it's gonna be like right now, after I've been like going through this over and over. I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe I just really do believe it's going to be ingredient specialist because I feel like the game's just going to give me a big middle finger and be like, "Your Delibird is not meta anymore." Which like you don't have to use the meta option. And if I really went in on if Chansey was better than Delibird and I went in on it, it'd be because I'm a min maxer. But I'm not. And I think strategically, it's stick with what you have. I got a basically perfect Delibird. I've already been investing in it. Like, I don't have any reason to turn back. Plus, that shiny Ampharos that I have now also gives me eggs. And when I get it to level 60, it's going to give me even another egg. So I'll be getting supplemental eggs anyway. So I'm not super worried about those salads. Also, not to mention that the new salad is not as good as the Defiant salad. And it's still really strong. And part of my complaint was that there's not a lot of strong salad options, so they're like solving that part of the complaint. But and I don't expect that every dish they add is going to be at the top of the strength list, but yeah, you know. All right, what's up, Mordor? Welcome. And yeah, I mean, it's hard to imagine a world where Chansey is not the best egg farmer in the game at this point. Unless you think that there's any merit to my argument, which if you just joined, you missed. So go back and watch it because I'm not going to repeat it. Yeah, Mirror of Paldean Wooper. It isn't Absol technically better, but Paldean Wooper is easier to catch. Happening might be similar. Yeah, and if it is that, then hopefully Delibird still reigns supreme and I don't have to feel any kind of way about it. And yes, Delibird's skill change. I've thrown this out in Velociraptor's lives, but I would love to see Delibird have present as a skill. And right now it's ingredient magnet, but I would actually love to see like sometimes it's ingredients, sometimes it's dream shards, sometimes it's berry burst. Would be like the coolest version of present ever. That's as Lambo would say, that's me being greedy. But I just think that would be really fun. Okay, let's talk about some New Moon Day. Yeah, so New Moon Day. Yeah, I feel like I was going to preface this some way, but that I didn't write it in my notes, so let's just dig in. Darkrai's in the picture of the New Moon thing. So Darkrai is going to be involved. We're going to learn more about Darkrai. First thing I wanted to call out, I don't think we're going to have a Darkrai event, like a legendary event. It's also not a legendary Pokemon. It's a mythical. So maybe it makes sense that we don't have a legendary event, right? Um, it is what it is. Um, so yeah, here's the thing about Darkrai, and we've already been told we're only going to get one. So if you already have one, you've got it. If you don't have one, you're going to have a chance to get it. And this is something to keep in mind in the game. They're never going to put something in the sleep decks and also make it exclusive to a time period. Everything that gets a sleep decks entry is going to come back at some point. The Santa Hat Pikachu and Eevee, the Halloween Hat Pikachu. Yeah, they came up with a variant on Halloween Hat Pikachu with the coloring, but like they're never going to put something in the deck slot and then a new player, it's like, well, what's that? Oh, it's Halloween Pikachu. You had to be playing in October of 2024 to get it. Or that was Darkrai. You had to be playing in April 2025 to get Darkrai. Like they're never going to do that. There's always going to be some way. It might be hard. It might be challenging. Um, but like they're going to always bring back everything. Um, and I think that personally, I mean, details to come, right? And so this is just my take, my speculation. I do think that the new moon event is going to be a recurring thing. Because Darkrai is involved, it would make sense to give players a chance to get Darkrai on some kind of recurring basis that they could rely on and prepare for. I kind of think Darkrai is still going to not be just like a, oh, welcome to the game. Oh, it's New Moon Day. Here's Darkrai. Welcome to the game. Like, I don't think they're going to do that. I think it's still going to be like, oh, you have to get a certain amount of drowsy power, or maybe there will be some other requirements to get it. Although they did basically give it away to everybody who played the Cresselia event, uh, which I just like, and I'm not trying to say like, I think they should have withheld it from players. So don't get me wrong on that. It just comes back to that. Like, I think the global drowsy power thing was just a total joke because like they basically made a calculation that was going to force everybody to get those ranks. So it just felt like a gimmicky, useless thing. Um, anyway, there has to be a way for players who miss Darkrai to get it. And we know that Darkrai is like this weird Pokemon with no subskills and no nature. And in theory, there's got to be some way for us to get subskills on it, right? Um, and so, like, the question is that going to be part of the new moon thing? Is that you can progress your Darkrai in some way, or you can get that mysterious seed? Can we get those in the new moon? Can we get those? Is it going to be RNG based? Like, oh, if you are at Master 18, you're going to have a chance at getting a. I mean, we already have subskill seeds, so what is that thing going to be called? A skill activation seed.com. I don't know. But yeah, I think that it's going to be a recurring thing. I think we're going to see a new moon event monthly, just like we see basically the full moon event, Good Sleep Day. It'll be interesting to see if they put out the sleep facts. I don't know about you guys, but I read those newses hardcore every time about what our sleep hours are on Good Sleep Day. It's really important to me to make sure we really promote getting good sleep with the full moon, and I'm definitely not putting my tracker to bed and staying up. And I need to go start my sleep tracker soon. Just kidding. But yeah, I personally think I don't think it's going to be as like a full blown thing as well. I don't know. I keep this is where I keep going back and forth on like, is it going to be every month or recurring? It's definitely gonna be recurring. Personally, I think every month. I think it would make sense if on the night of the full moon there was this chance at Darkrai, whatever thing. I kind of think they're hinting. I mean, they're definitely put Murkrow and Honchkrow in the picture. So, is it going to be? Is that the Clefairy of the new moon, where it's boosted spawns for Murkrow and Honchkrow, or is that going to be something else? And if it is that, then it seems like limiting that to 1 day a month is going to be a problem because you're never going to get candies for that. They need to have it for the 3 days so that you can get enough candies to make Murkrow a viable Pokemon, or I should say Honchkrow. because we've already been over that. I mean, look, if you really love an unevolved Pokemon, like I'm not gonna stop you. Okay, but 8 months, okay, like are you gonna really take one of those slots on your team for 8 months every night to keep that Pokemon under evolved? We're not, right? I don't know. If you're casual, I don't know. If you're strategic, if you're okay, so the min maxers are gonna rule that one out, right? But maybe other people would. Charizard would. All right, let me jump back and see some of your comments. Let's see. Jeremy, welcome to the game. Sorry that you missed it, and hey, thanks for finding my channel. I hope you found it helpful as you are getting going. I started the game on a Sunday, and so I got area bonus that first night, and so uh, hopefully this week already feels better than those first couple days because it's really slow to start, man. Um, yep. Thank you, Vikram, for validating my opinion about getting a chance at it monthly. And yeah, okay, yeah, farming candies. That's a good point, Arndor. We need a way to get Darkrai candies in theory. Um, and if we have a chance at encountering Darkrai, what's weird is that I feel like they set this expectation with the mythical thing where it's like it's almost like, well, there's only one Darkrai in the game. There's multiple of every other legendary, but there's only one Darkrai. Or is it that there are multiple Darkrai, but none of them are going to want to be our friend because they're mean? I mean, I don't know. Yeah, and I mean, you hit it on the head. What about unlocking the subskills and ingredients? There's got to be something. Seems like they tied it loosely to that seed, but I don't know. Maybe they'll give Darkrai incense and you have to use biscuits to catch it. Oh yeah, I mean that's a good point. Or if Darkrai did show up, maybe I mean maybe it is for new players. Maybe it does show up every month on the new moon, but and that's why they implemented that like it's gonna be oh less likely to get full. Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. Um, maybe that's it. Maybe it is. Oh, you've got to get 50 friendship points on this thing, and it's intended that it's going to take you several months to actually recruit it. It wanted to be your friend if you helped it during the event, but if not, and it's already calmed down and it's still out there in the wild, you're gonna have to really work hard to win Darkrai's heart. And so, yeah, I mean, I don't know that it'll be incenses, but yeah, I mean, appreciate the spitballing, but yeah, I'm thinking that at least it's gonna have a chance to spawn, and maybe it'll even be a guaranteed spawn on the new moon night, just to make sure the players have a chance to keep moving. Charizard, why are you retracting your messages? What did you say that I missed? Dang it, probably something awesome. But it's okay. All right. Okay, here we go. I wonder if we'll have something similar with the rank ups to get candy. Um, oh, you mean like we had in the Cresselia event, I assume. Um, maybe, yeah, and maybe they'll put more things like that. I mean, I kind of we have the experience gauge of if you have all of your capped things overnight and your experience is maxed out. And I was theorizing earlier for some of you who might have missed that maybe we'd see something like that with the area bonus, that you could have a gauge that fills up, and every so many weeks that you're at max area bonus, you eventually get something. I don't know what. Maybe that's the way that they're going to make silver seeds more accessible. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe there'll be a new moon ranking thing that we continue to progress every new moon. I mean, obviously, there's going to be more details to come. So this is all speculation. But I just I try to think through like, how are they making money? How are they attracting and catering to new players? So that because new players got to have a good experience if you want to make them long-term players. That's how these games go. Um, and yeah, okay. Let me get back to my notes here for a second, and then I'll jump back to chat. Let's see. Um, yeah, unlocking the secrets of Darkrai. I do think I do think we should expect that RNG is going to be involved with Darkrai and with the seeds. Um, that's I just and I kind of think like maybe you're a new player and you got Darkrai, and I would not expect that on the first new moon, if players start getting those seeds, that I wouldn't be surprised if it was like you have to hit a certain rank or you have to like be along more in the game in order to level up your Darkrai, because Darkrai seems like it's going to be a pretty powerful Pokemon. And I don't think that they're just going to be like, hey, new players, here's an all specialist that has every benefit of every skill specialty, and you can just start leveling that thing up now. And yeah, it has a drawback with like the energy thing, but I have a feeling that Darkrai could just be pretty overpowered, and I don't think they're just going to hand the ability to progress a Darkrai to everyone, even though they handed Darkrai to everyone. That's, again, just me thinking about this. Here's something interesting. They announced the new moon thing during a new moon. Did you guys catch that? I haven't been paying attention to the new moon cycle until they announced this, but I was like, huh. They actually announced it the day before a new moon, which made me think, okay, maybe the every 3 day thing, like the good sleep day, could be a thing. And another note here, less likely to get full means more biscuits. And although biscuits are limited in the Sleep Point shop, they are unlimited with diamonds. So wouldn't be surprised that they're doing less likely to get full means that you're going to be more tempted to spend diamonds on biscuits. Maybe. Will they do new moon bundles? I mean, probably. They're trying to make money. All right. Let's see. That's the notes, and that's all the stuff I was going to cover today. And again, sorry for the craziness with the streaming for those of you who tried to tune in when I was first intending to start this, and I've still got all of this stuff just like crashing and errors and stuff on my computer. I don't know what's going on, but let me jump into the chat again here, and then I'll poke around a little bit more on that website if you guys want to see what I built. And then I'll talk about, for anyone who wants to keep hanging out, I'll talk about with what I did with my Snowdrop team, because I don't want to really do an in-depth video on it because I'm lazy and I'd rather just do it now. Well, let me jump here. Get more ingredient specialists to 30 or focus on 1 or 2 at 50, 60. Ooh, it really depends on what dishes you're targeting, Hamayumi, and welcome to the stream here. I would say that, I mean, I have Pokemon who are level 30 specialists that are going to stay level 30 specialists just because if I ever need an ingredient, I need to be able to turn to them. But try to have a sense of what meals you're targeting to know and I mean, do an inventory of what you have available to get to 50 and 30 and plan what meals to target for each type around that is my advice. I'm pretty sure I have a video on that somewhere. But Jeremy, do I plan on having my own Discord channel? Great question. Okay, so I've been thinking about this a lot. And I'm a noob here. Obviously, here we are. Like, I tried to set up a stream. It started working, and then it was buffering, and then it was errors. My computer's just not good enough, probably to do streaming the way that I want to for you guys. And if this works for you, great. We can do this again sometime. But I wanted to be able to pull out some stuff and talk through some stuff. That's just not working on my computer. So as far as Discord goes, like, I mean, you might think those things are unrelated, but to me, it's all in this realm of like time commitment that I can give to my YouTube channel. And if I'm going to bring you guys something, I want it to be worth your while. Like, I hope you've been having a good time tonight. I hope you haven't felt like this is a waste of your time. Some of you might have felt like your time was getting wasted when I was like, I'm gonna restart my computer. I'm gonna try to fix all this stuff. But like, when it comes to the Discord question, like, I would love to have a place for us to all get together and chat and stuff, and to be accessible to you guys. At the same time, like, I mean, Discords kind of require time and effort, and YouTube is a hobby for me for sure. We gotta show up for my family first, and if everyone wanted to sign up and say, oh, we can be moderators and we'll help you keep it good, like, awesome. And I've been thinking like, okay, well, if I did Discord, maybe if I did it members only, that could keep like a certain level of moderation. Like you have to have a little skin in the game to like even get in here. But I also, I don't know, I don't want people like, look, the membership thing is cool. It's great that I reached that YouTube milestone. Personally, would feel honored if anyone gets a membership. I don't care if you get that or not, and I don't want to leave like, oh, the members membership is like this exclusive experience. Like, I want it to be a little bit of that if you're being a member, but like, I don't want people to feel like they have to become a member to experience this community and this channel, right? So I have mixed feelings about the Discord still. I did a poll and a survey recently, and people are interested, right? So maybe we'll get there at some point, but for now, I'm gonna just leave it as a pending thing in my head, mostly because I don't think I have the time to do a Discord for you guys well. Because ultimately, it's about having the chance to like interact and have me in there. And if I can't give you guys the time, like I'm in Velocity Raptors Discord sometimes, but I don't check that thing regularly. And if I can't get in there and about something I'm passionate about, it makes me think, when am I going to find time to be in my own Discord if I create one? So anyway, I just join Velocity Raptors Discord. There's a bunch of people in there. It's a lot of great Pokemon Sleep talk all the time. As far as, I mean, I'm in the Pokemon Sleep Discord. I'm in the Rain and X Discord. I'm in Bro Vinny's Discord. If I'm gonna go visit one, it's Velocity Raptors Discord. So hit me up in there. And maybe one day we'll do our own. But for now, we're just gonna, casually piggyback off of his or whatever. But anyway, and thank you for the affirmations, I guess, about everyone's got to start somewhere. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I got really lucky that my first live stream went so well, and I know it was just like an impromptu thing. But after tonight, and I'm like, all right, let me look up what are the settings I should be doing, and looking at what my computer can realistically handle. It's just I was like hitting error, and then it connected, and then it didn't connect, and it connected when I was ready. Anyway, thank you guys for liking those random videos that didn't happen. Yeah, thanks Vikram again for I don't know how much for anybody who was trying to get on. Wow, we've been going for a little while now. But anyone who was trying to get on like an hour and a half ago, or I guess 2 hours ago was when this was supposed to start. Yeah, I was stressed, guys. I was like, come on, people were waiting for me. I feel bad. But I mean, hopefully this is a good alternative. Hopefully this is working well enough. But yeah, all right. Well, that's everything I had for my notes. I'm gonna hang out for another minute here and spitball, and just phone screen to computer Rain and X and tell you guys about my plan and strategy for hitting Master 20 on Snowdrop Tundra during Salad Week, and how I went about that, in case anybody wants to be thinking about kind of those long-term team building things. But we hit on the main topics. Obviously, people are coming and going as they please because it's a live stream. So, I mean, follow your heart. But let me tell you guys what I was thinking about. So, I have Defiant Dressed Coffee Salad, or whatever the official name is, at like level 53. And salads are my worst dish, and I think they're everyone's worst dish, as I've called out before. But I was looking at, okay, can I reliably make Defiant Dressed Coffee Salad? Spoilers for my next video, even though it's like a 5-second spoiler of the video. I was using the mini candy boost to level up my ABB Shinx that has helping bonus and helping speed and nothing else. It's not amazing, but it's gonna get the job done, right? RNG, sometimes you get more than the amount, sometimes you get less. And we can always supplement oil with other things. And that's actually where I started looking at what I actually did. And it's so slow in Rain and X. But let me pull it up real quick. Okay. If you go to Rain and X and you sign up for an account, not a paid account, because I don't pay for Rain and X. I don't even pay, like, I'm using a free laptop, guys. I'm not not paying for anything. um, but I gotta get my settings reconfigured. Okay, Snowdrop, Tundra. We need to get total strength. But I have all my Pokemon configured in here. You can save your Pokemon in here, and then you can do cool stuff like this. So, oh, it doesn't help me if I have the level thing to 75. I was evaluating something that I caught, so you guys will see that later. I caught something that I don't need. That's really good. Okay, let me do the flipperoo. Okay, rainanx.com. I mean, no, it's not. Okay, it's rainanx.cc. It's not .com. Okay, we've got no filters on. We've got the configuration set to total strength, Snowdrop, Tundra, so you get the favorite berries there, and the level that my Pokemon are. And basically what it's going to do with total strength is going to say, here's your best options for the stuff you've got. And Hanabi, my Golduck, always comes in pretty high. Cheyenne is a Golduck that I haven't invested the main skill seeds yet in, but you can see that even at level 25, it would compete with my current Golduck, and then it's going to get even better if I ever get up to 50 with helping bonus. So I always have this one, like, I'm like, maybe one day I'm going to get another Golduck, but it also has experience down, so it's going to be a grind. So I might just stick with the one I have. Anyway, okay, and then you guys have seen I invested my Ampharos, and that thing is basically on par with those guys. Then we have Berry Specialist, Bob Vance, who is, I mean, here's the deal. When you're looking at these strengths, like this is essentially daily strength, but it's all still RNG based, right? Like RNG says this is gonna, I mean, probably some of you have seen my Golduck video. This can fall, and I mean, I haven't tested it for Snowdrop, Tundra, but you know, plus or minus 10,000 on this, or plus or minus 20,000, right? Golduck is pretty volatile, but I love it and I run it all the time. So I'm immune to the volatility. But at least on a daily basis, right? Ampharos is a little bit more consistent with its skill, and it's giving me 10 to 11,000 depending on area bonus. But the berries from Walrein, that's a very consistent 65k. And I guess I still have from my before I subskill seeded this. Spoilers, because I just did that after I got it from Topalo. So after hitting Master 20. But yeah, and here's my Sudowoodo, who also, if I put all the skills or the main skill seeds into it, would then be the next option, even if I only left it at level 13, which is crazy. So don't sleep on Sudowoodo. Here's another Golduck that is also very good if I ever wanted to have a third one. Meme teams are the future. That I said mini games were the end game in my very, very first video. The end game of this game is actually just meme teams. It's metronome teams, it's slowpoke teams, it's Golduck teams. Anyway, soybean farmer. Okay, wait, do I have my other settings turned on right now? No. So this is just base. This is where I started though. So like, I'm just coming in here and going, okay, what are my strongest ones? So I have these generalists. Essentially I have Hanabi, I have Becca Blue is her real name now, Bob Vance, the Walrein, and then we get ingredients down here with Slurpee the Vaporeon. Then we got Raptor is also a very strong option. Anyway, and then we've got berry finding on Gardevoir, which basically makes it as strong as Raichu when Raichu doesn't have a favorite berry. So that's actually pretty strong. Okay, so I kind of took a mental note. What are my options here? And what I did was I came over and initially, so I'm going to come to team analysis. Pretend like you saw me click that. And I already have the team built here, but let me tell you my thought process. So actually, I stuck Gardevoir in here, and then I said, okay, if I'm going to be targeting that salad, what do I want to be collecting during the week, and what do I want to be collecting before the week? And the salad needs bean sausage, coffee, oil, and potatoes. And because I have potato Kangaskhan that has favorite berry, I thought, okay, well, favorite berry, that means I want to collect those potatoes during that week so that I can benefit from the berry strength. Also added Bob Vance, also added Golduck, and initially had added Ampharos here. But then the question is, okay, how much can I get if I need oil? I don't have an ingredient finder for oil, but thankfully Bob Vance is mono oil. So it just becomes a question of, okay, how much oil can you get me? 34 in a day. Also, wait a second, if I'm going to be using the top salad, I'm either going to have to run a pot expander, which Glaceon has some Snowdrop Tundra synergy, or I'm just going to run a good cam ticket. Like if I'm going for Master 20, I have no problem using a good cam ticket for that. So toggling on good cam ticket, because that's the thing. I feel like I'm like doing some kind of like follow the mouse thing. Anyway, so that brought me to 41 a day on average from Walrein. And then that's when I went back and said, okay, well, wait a minute. If I switch out Gardevoir for my Wigglytuff, which is also very strong, I have no problem finding good healers, apparently, because this was like one of the early game Pokemon I got. But it's especially with good camp ticket, I should have no issues keeping the team high energy. But it would also bring me some oil, right? And then it's a question of, okay, well then how much oil do I need? And so in order to really, like, I don't know how, I mean, I'm not a Rainanex expert. So I like do a lot of bouncing around to go, okay, let me do my cooking. Oh, and if you're going to do something like this, make sure, like, go ahead and preset your area bonus to what it's going to be for the event week if you didn't, because that's going to matter too. But I jumped in here and, like, if you mark the thing you're going to do and you mark your, so down here you can say what meals you want to cook. So, like, I was doing Zing Zap twice and not Clodsire or Clary, but I was messing with it at a different time. But the Macrons, when I was preparing for my Topala run. But yeah, if I'm aiming for a Defiant coffee dress salad 3 times a day, I can set that in here. You basically open this and then you click on these little morning, noon, and night things when you are in here. Like it'll bring up the list and it'll be like, all right, configure which ones you're doing at the various times of day. But it's easy when you're just going to do one meal. But basically, you go in and say, okay, so how much oil am I getting? How much oil would I need to have in advance if I was doing this? And dang it, because I already have this all set up for what I need. But basically you go, okay, so if I get 91 more oil, then that's going to get me to 100% of the oil that I need on the week. It's going to show you down here. So this will be a negative number. If I take this out, and it'll basically say I'm short 91. And so, or I guess it'll be 91 divided by 7. I think it shows you, let's just, I already have these screenshotted, so I can just tell you guys what it's going to look like. But this all affects like the strength calculation stuff too. So it's saying you need another 13 a day, right? Which 13 times 7 is not 91. I'm not great at math, but I know that. So, okay. So basically it was like, oil was one that I was like stressed about because do I have an oil farmer? No. But between those guys, and if I prepare some oil in advance, I should be fine. Potatoes, how many can I get in a day right now? With a good camp ticket, 83, and that's not even a level 60, that's a level 55. So like, we're going to be covered because we need 22 per meal. In fact, we're going to have an extra 19 potatoes a day on average. So I'm going to try to make sure I have enough for the next meal every time, but that might end up being some of my filler. Now, the other two ingredients are bean sausage and coffee, which, look at this, Hanabi, level 59, definitely could take it up to level 60 and get some bean sausage. But I don't have a cacao farmer, and Hanabi is the reason that we can do anything with cacao these days. So Hanabi is not going to come up to level 60. But guess who does provide me bean sausage and coffee right now at level 51, or it might be 52 now, I don't remember, but it's going to provide me an amount per day on average, right, of these things. And the thing, again, keep in mind, if you've ever used my RNG simulator tool, you'll know that it's not, you're going to get 37. I mean, you can't get 36.78 per day. That should be your first clue that that's impossible. But on average, that's the sausage and the coffee per day. So I have sausage farmer and coffee farmers that I can switch into this team if I need to if one of those is going heavier or lighter than the other. But the problem that I have with Rain and X, and I mean, I'm sure it's helpful for people, but my problem is as soon as you turn on those meals, look at the strength. It's like he's not producing that much strength, right? Well, he is with the meal, but I feel like I have to, and maybe this is just me. I feel like I have to look at it like this to know like this is the strength that he's producing, and it's using the raw ingredient strength, which makes these all way lower. And then I'm looking at this to go, okay, where does that actually get me in terms of strength? And then I like kind of manually calculate the meals because they like factor in stuff like the crit chance, which I feel like I never get lucky on crits with meals. So I just don't trust that can happen. But yeah, you can. So I always like try to look at that and balance that. But essentially, I was like trying to figure out like, well, what if I was swapping my team back and forth for those ingredients? And then I was like, well, what if I just run him all week? Because, meaning Valentino, because he has helping bonus, which makes you stronger, you stronger, you stronger, you stronger. And Hanabi also has helping bonus, which makes all of these stronger. And Bob Vance also has helping bonus at level 100, so we'll never get to use that. I even when level 100 gets out of the game, guys, we're never going to get there. The curves are going to be so insane. But he has a fighting chance because like experience gains. Okay. So yeah, we've got some production during the week with this, but then also the boost to the team. So then the question becomes, well, how many short does that make us? And I've already, again, done this calculation, but if I have 315 bean sausages, 189 coffee, and 91 oil, actually those numbers, okay, I found the actual number. No, those are the actual numbers, right? 100%, 100%, 100%. And then I also took a screenshot where I said, okay, make them a little bit higher and remember higher numbers because you don't want to leave it up to RNG completely, right? You want to be at least prepared for those first couple of meals. So like I'm going to be stockpiling some potatoes to make those first couple of meals. But this is how I do this. So ingredient tracker, I created this tool, and we can come back to that one later, but this is my salad prep tool. I'm just going to hold my phone up closer so you can see this. But coffee, sausage, oil, and potatoes. This is how I do this. Is I first go, okay, how many of these can I get on a daily basis from that team that I created? And how many times do I want to make the meal? In this case, 21. And just for an example, this is the exact same thing that I did for Topalo. How many am I getting from my team of these things, and how many times am I making the different dishes? But it looks a lot more boring when it's just one meal type or one dish type. So how many am I going to generate on the week? And then how many does that leave me that I need to get? And so this is actually from a couple hours ago of where I am on coffee, sausage. I'm already done on oil just from running Walrein during this week. And I've been cooking ninja salad for most of the week. And then I have all the ingredients stocked through the weekend to do Man, I don't know the names of the salads. I hate salads. The one that has corn and honey and um, apples is what I'm cooking through the weekend to just because I have the ingredients. But I was running Dragonite today to make sure I had the corn through the weekend. But like I said, started really seriously prepping this today, and so these numbers looked a little bit different this morning. But even and if I updated these right now, if I went and checked my game, which since I'm doing this on my phone, I can't. But I'm probably at 50% of my preparation. The other thing I have here is obviously so like the number that I need. How many do I have extra right now? That extra number matters because that's where I want to try to make sure I have at least enough for the first couple meals of the week. And then if I take the difference between how many I need and how many that I have right now, and then this is saying take the those numbers. Let's see, how do I do this? M4. Oh, yeah. Here's okay. Sorry, this is what I meant to click on first. This number of average daily is not a calculated number. This is how many can I produce in a day right now if I was running my ingredient specialist. And for coffee and sausage in particular, it's my Charizard and that Aggron. So the Aggron is accounted for in both of these numbers, as well as my Vikavolt and my Aggron, to give me these are the numbers I can produce in a day. And so I need still, and this is going to go down when I update it at the end of the night, but basically 2 full days of sausage production to make sure that I'm on track for the coming event on Monday. So I'm on track. I didn't have to start any of this ingredient prep until this morning, and even that has not been a problem. So it allowed me to still get a lot of strength on this week. I'm currently Master 11 on Snowdrop, which is a record for me because I never go to Snowdrop. I don't know about you guys, but so that's how I went about building this team. I feel like more and more I'm kind of in this situation where I'm like, I mean, we saw Velociraptor do his old gold power plant run with like Raichus and relying on meals that came from those Raichus, basically like the apples and ginger. I feel like there is a lot of talk about like mono ingredients, and yeah, it's awesome for prepping because I can run those ingredient specials for 2 days, but during the week I don't want to run the ingredient specialists. I want to run skill specialists, berry specialists because they're going to provide a lot more strength, and essentially I can carry over the strength, which Velociraptor calls the quote unquote power of the bag, right? That's one of his very first videos, so I think a lot of people haven't seen it, but he references it all the time. And I'll be honest, the first time I saw it, I was kind of like, sure, whatever, but like now I get it. That guy was a visionary. Nah, he's awesome. He's got a lot of great tips. Some of them still go over my head, I'm sure. But yeah, prep your meals, especially if you're thinking of going for like those milestone things. All right, well, there's one other thing that I have to show you guys, and it's just to give you a little tour of this thing that I showed you a little bit earlier. But if you were late and you missed this, I'm going to be putting my phone back up to my computer again. But I created a website, and I'll share it with you guys later when I can copy and paste this. But or you go try to find it if you wanted to get really thing. But it's called Pokemon Sleep Data, and I just have a couple of spreadsheets that I've built over time. And I have some other things that I want to add here eventually, but for now it's kind of just this generic information about Pokemon that are in the games. In the game, we only have one Pokemon Sleep. Can't wait for Pokemon Sleep 2, to be honest. Specialties, sleep type distribution types, and so I can click into any of these and then have it broken down by area, how the different areas are balanced by those things. And when we were talking about Chansey, this is what initially got me looking in more to the berry specialist thing, is I was like, Cyan Beach is already out of balance for ingredient specialists. And Old Gold Power Plant is the other one that's way out of balance for ingredient specialists because they added all the exclusive ones there. But if you're interested, let me just show you some of the other ones that are here right now. We have more snoozing Pokemon in the game than anything. But again, all of these are pretty balanced. And I think they're going to continue to keep all of these relatively balanced as they add new Pokemon. So this could be a way to, not that I'm ever going to have like a full-on prediction engine or anything like that, but I think it's a way that we could take a guess at like, well, I don't have this chart on here yet, but it's one that I made of like, with Chansey getting added, Taupe Hollow is now the Pokemon with the least unique spawns. So probably what gets added next goes to Taupe Hollow. And then you go, okay, well, Taupe Hollow doesn't have a lot of slumbering. What kind of Pokemon are slumbering? So, you know, there's like speculation we could do about, okay, well, probably these types of Pokemon that are slumbering that would appear at Taupe Hollow, like, you know, cross-reference them and then go, it's going to be a Alolan Marowak or something. I don't know. But that's totally made up. I have not speculated on anything for real yet, but that's kind of the intention of this, is just prepare some of this data, and I'd actually like to go back to when they've added the different Pokemon and look at how some of these things have changed historically. And this is the kind of nerding out that I like to do. It's just like data analysis stuff. But if you're interested, here's what the types look like right now in the game. You know, normal type just got a pretty decent jump by adding 3 to it. There's a pie chart version, and I even did all the colors so that they match the little logos in the game. I'm working really hard on this for you guys. And then Snowdrop actually has more normal Pokemon now than they do ice Pokemon. So, and no, there is not a Pokemon Sleep 2, Jeremy. I'm just making that up. I don't know what the latency is like on, or the, yeah, the latency is the word. I don't know how slow this is. So, sorry if I respond to you guys super late, or if I don't get the chat till super late. Anyway, and speaking of late, what's up, Mystical Phoenix Heart? Thanks for joining. No problem, you were late. I was a lot later than I wanted to be because of technical difficulties, which is why we're on the phone. So anyway, this is another cool one that I have on here. We call this skill versus ingredient rate. And essentially I made this chart where, so the bigger the bubble, the slower the Pokemon. And I'd like to actually inverse that so that it's the smaller the bubble, the faster the Pokemon, instead of the, wait, what did I just say? 2 versions are available. Bubble size corresponds to frequency. Bigger bubbles means slower. Okay, I'd like to do it so that bigger bubbles means faster, because I feel like that would be more intuitive. But basically, ingredient rates, base ingredient rates, and base skill trigger rates, so that you could have a sense of what this looks like. And this is something that I thought was really interesting. If you look at the ingredient rates, berry specialists and skill specialists are all like completely intermixed in here, right? So you might think, oh, ingredient specialists have a higher ingredient rate. No, they're like, look, Ghastly is down here. I mean, Onyx is below it, but like, there's, I mean, and these are obviously not like the evolved version. Maybe I should do a version that just shows them the max evolution ones of these. But point being, you might think that they all have higher ingredient rates because they're ingredient specialists. They don't. They're all kind of mixed in here. Obviously, skill specialists have a higher skill rate, which is the bottom, and so they're all this way. But the real strength of ingredient specialists does not come from the ingredient rate so much as it does that first ingredient slot has 2 instead of 1, and then the other ingredient slots have more instead of less. And then the berry Pokemon have 1 more berry, right, than the other ones. So like, anyway, I just thought this was interesting to look at. I did a version that's the other way too, because it makes some of the names more readable than the other one. But so there's like interesting stuff to look at on here. But yeah, I've got some other stuff I want to add to this. And if you guys ever have ideas about things to add to this site, just leave comments on my videos, because I'm not going to create another place to do this. This would be a great use case to have a Discord, right? But yeah, that's something that I'm going to be putting together a little bit more and maintaining, and I'll share it out to you guys. It's just a resource. But yeah, it's I think it gives it definitely gives me some things to think about the game. And it's I mean, I did it because I was like wondering. Okay, so first I looked at the inventory for Chansey and thought, this model is a berry specialist, not an ingredient specialist. It would be a crazy amount of inventory for an ingredient specialist. Again, for those of you who weren't here, I think it could be because, oh, you have to put all these sleep hours on it. You have to like really commit to it and invest in it to get it there. So maybe it's a higher inventory because you have to like work harder to get it as an ingredient specialist. But then I don't know. Then I was looking at, okay, well, Snowdrop Tundra lacks ingredient specialist, but it's also going to Cyan, which has a lot of ingredient specialists, but not berry specialists. And then I constructed that whole theory that if you missed it, you can go back and watch later. We're not going to cover it again. But anyway, that's pretty much all the stuff I had to go over tonight. But if you guys have any questions or things you want to chat about for a few more minutes, I don't have to start my sleep tracker for half an hour. But I do need to do the dishes because I try to stay on top of some chores in this house and be a good dad. But yeah, anything you guys want to discuss, or call this a night? Call this a wrap? Call it good. Somebody asked me the other day in a comment, and I figured I'd throw it out here because I used to shout out Snorlax a bunch. And if any of you have not subscribed to Snorlax's channel, he's a Pokemon Sleep creator. It's like Snorlax, but switch the L to an M. He's probably, I mean, I know Velocity Raptor have this little bromance thing going, but Snorlax is probably one of my favorite creators for the Pokemon Sleep community. So go give him a subscribe if you haven't, but he hasn't made a video for a little while. And then one of the comments on his latest video, somebody asked him about it, and he chimed in to say like, oh, new baby's coming, we're getting ready. So he might be gone for a while, but go show that guy some love. Go watch some of his old videos, see if you like his vibe. But I miss that dude all the time. And on that note, you guys start making videos about Pokemon Sleep. Come on, what are you guys doing? We need more Pokemon Sleep content out here, and I'll watch your stuff if you do it. So if you've ever been thinking about it, do it. And let me tell you a little bit about me becoming a YouTuber real quick. On that note, I first thought about getting onto YouTube for Pokemon Sleep in October of 2023. I built this spreadsheet where I was tracking all my Cyan Beach spawns, and I was like, I kind of figured out getting to master ranks doesn't mean anything. You don't get spawns in the master ranks. I was tracking every day the spawns that I was getting at each of those things. Basically, I was stumbling onto Drowsy Power rank before any of us knew that that was a thing. And I was like, I need to make this video. I need to get this information out there so that people know that getting to Master 1 doesn't mean crap. But yeah, and ended up not doing it. Then I created this YouTube channel in June thinking, I want to do this. I want to like get involved in this community. Then I didn't start making videos until I think end of August, September, whenever the Suicune event was, I think end of August. So like it took me some like time to even convince myself to get going on this thing. So if you've ever entertained that thought or thought about getting involved in the Pokemon Sleep video community, we'd love to have you. It's, I mean, you guys know, you guys are here in the chat. It's all like positive energy, a lot of fun people, and don't have to show your face. I started off not being on camera and was growing just fine. So yeah, something to think about. No, I mean, no pressure, right? But we'd love to have you. I think it's fun to see everyone's catches and to feel like we're playing the game together, which is why I have in the Discord. It's fun, I get it, but we're not gonna make that investment right now. Anyway, so I didn't see any questions come in or anything, unless I'm like missing a bun where people are submitting questions in some kind of formal way. So I think we'll just call this one good. And thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate it. I'm sure everyone here is subscribed because no one's going to be listening to me rambling in the night if you're not already subscribed and don't know what we're doing here. So thank you so much for supporting the channel, and let's do this again sometime. And not with all the technical difficulties, but happy researching. And now you get to watch me try to figure out how do I end a live stream on my phone.